Today's show sponsored by NyQuil and Buckley's. Yep, that's Tylenol sponsoring this one as well. The boys are feeling it a little bit here. That little fall flu, but we're still here. We are still here, and we are ushering in a new movement in internet culture, Nez. So I think you should leave. It has fallen by the wayside in meme culture, and it is now underdog commercial meme culture time on the timeline.
You are going to make it happen, like single-handedly. Like
I'm
I'm
trying.
buying in. I'm buying in to the thought of like having a draft, depending on if it's good or bad. Find your facial expression from the commercial. I kind of like it. I think you got something going. Yeah, that cough was inadvertent. I was trying to mute myself while I clear my throat, but our lovely host is a little under the weather, so I guess I'll have to shoulder more of the load than usual. That wasn't on the practice report. Everybody had their lineups locked. Everybody had 70% John, 30% Nez. Little did they know, John's getting his workload slashed today, so those Nez drafters are getting home today.
I feel I might be like Jaleel McLaughlin. Unfortunately, I might be getting my workload slashed.
Yeah, you're also like 5'7". Nobody can refute that if they haven't seen you. So I could just slander you all I want.
5'7". Oh my goodness. There's two things on the docket here. I'll hit this one first because it's addressed to me and I'm selfish. Missed the Nucks game last night. They put on an absolute clinic, and it actually hurt my bank account too because I aped in after our show yesterday in the Dangles After Dark there. I think I did like 17 entries or something.
Ooh.
I was addicted to those things. I was like, these
fun.
are so damn fun. But I was off my Nuckies. I was like, Brock Besser stinks. He's dust. And instead, I just aped in on Connor McDust, and it did not go right. And your model was correct the whole way. But had I gone to the barn, I know I would have built a couple Nuckies onslaughts in the Uber on the way there, definitively, like without a thought.
Yeah, no question. Anytime that I go to a game, I either have a pick'em entry like for that game, or I have an onslaught of the like one team, both teams. There's no way I don't have something going on the dog app if I'm going to a game.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I told you straight up. The model said,
who am I to question? Yeah, who am I to question the spreadsheets anymore?
I'm getting a lot of pushback saying that Connor McDavid is not worthy of the singular 1.1. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wow. Well, we're gonna dust it off and try it out again today. We'll do the football slate first, but this is the pushing question here. So, what happened today with you and Post Malone? What's going on?
Yeah, I was hanging out with my guy Posty today. So, Bria got like an inquiry, my wife, last night to go to this grand opening of Post Malone's like special Raising Cane's restaurant that he is opening in partnership with, of course, Raising Cane's and the Dallas Cowboys. So it's this big grandiose like Raising Cane's. It's got like the star outside the place.
Okay, what's just for my dumbass? What kind of food is Raising Cane's?
Raising Cane's, what kind of food? It's fast food, and it's chicken fingers and only chicken fingers. That is it.
Oh, tight. Okay, I'm kind of down.
It's actually like phenomenal. It's fantastic. But we were there and we waited for like 2.5 hours. They had a DJ there, so he was like playing music, but we're just like kind of vibing. Really had no idea what to expect. He comes out with like, I think maybe like the owner or maybe like the regional manager or some shit. They're like, yeah, like
the assistant to the regional manager.
Right. They're like, yeah, we opened up Raising Cane's in partnership with Post Malone. And Post Malone's like very like awkward. Just like, yeah, this is cool. Hi everybody. And then like, that was it.
That's it. Dude just signs a fat check to just be there and then just bounces.
Yes, I did see Trayvon Diggs though. That was kind of cool. He looked
cool.
I don't know if he had surgery. He was walking. He looked fine. Okay. But I know he's like out for the season though. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It was ACL or MCL or something like that. It was knee related, right?
Yeah, I thought it was his ACL.
ACL. Yeah. I mean, how long's that been? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? You'd think he'd still be on crutches.
Yeah, no, he was like, I was like, I think that's Trayvon Diggs, but he looks like really healthy. So like, I don't know, maybe it's not. And then he Step on. They don't look alike. And then he drove off in a G-Wagon. I was like, okay, that was definitely Trayvon Diggs. So,
interesting. Well, I mean, that's pretty eventful afternoon. Seen Post Malone and Trayvon Diggs. I mean, regardless, did you get any chicken tenders or what?
Just so there were so many people there. We didn't even like go inside after. We went to the Raising Cane's close to our place after because we're like, well, we have to at least get Raising. Like we have a hankering for it, so we still end up getting some. I literally polished it off like 5 minutes before the show, hence the throat clearing. But no, yeah, I'm good. I'm energized now because I was tired, man. I was like 2.5 hours of just like standing around, just like, all right,
you were
yeah,
the plebs that just stood there and waited to see Post Malone.
Yeah, I felt kind of silly. But shout out Post Malone, looking That's skinny.
Cool. That'd be sweet if he there's no way he's healthy. Have you ever watched him perform? He smokes like 3 packs on the stage.
Healthy, relatively speaking.
Oh man, that's crazy though. Yeah. Oh, Neumy, hey, what's up, dude? Little slaw extra toast. What's that?
Sub slaw extra sauce.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, it's like the most basic shit ever.
All right, I got you. Blake drives past it every day. You guys don't hang out? Blake, what's going on? Hit up Nezzy, man. Let's go.
they're everywhere down south.
What? Oh,
Culver's. It is like
kind of like when I saw the picture. That's what I kind of looked like to me too.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's
that's been my day.
It's a better day than I've had, man. I'm just sucking back some Buckley's reading about football on the internet like a degenerate.
I love that. I've never heard of Buckley's. I love that I know.
Oh, is that just a Canadian thing?
Holy shit, yeah.
Oh man, dude, Buckley's is like their slogan is tastes awful, but it works. And it's like a cough syrup. Yeah, that's literally their slogan. And it's like everybody who gets like a cold just knows to like say that to somebody. Like taste awful, but it works. Like just
is that Buckley's. Like that stuff that Berman? Have you ever seen that clip way back in the day? Chris Berman's talking about the Canadian asprin.
I don't know. No, I don't know about Canadian aspirin.
Little codeine in the Canadian aspirin.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Over the counter cough syrup in the US is just like something dextrin. Like I gotta look this up now. Sorry,
it's how you make scissor, right?
Well, not DM, not with the well real cough syrup. Yes.
That was a really good segue to talking about Russell Wilson, man.
Is it?
Yeah, scissor, future Russell Wilson. Codeine crazy.
Wow, I am impressed, John. I didn't know that you had that in your bag.
I've seen Future a couple times.
Okay, all right.
I don't mind Future. I like me. I'm
looking up the active ingredients of Buckley's here. Menthol and acetaminophen. That's great. That's literally all it is.
Yikes! All right. Well, we're voluntarily putting this in our bodies.
Yeah, there's pharmaceutical talk for you guys.
Yeah, there's your big talk of the day. Let's bring this up here. Before we start the platform of the people, let's go to the beautiful Fantasy Life Game Hub. Oh, I got the utilization stuff up because I was messing around with some splits here. We got Dolchich coming back tonight, so I want to know your thoughts on it just in general. But the 2 games we're dealing with, 47 point total in this Broncos Chief one at Arrowhead tonight. Boots on the ground take is that Taylor Swift will be in the building. Oh boy. I mean, I'm so sick of the talk, but it's relative to the narrative of how hard Kelsey's going to play or whether he's going to gut it out. If she's in the building, he's gotten it out. He's playing 100% tonight. So we got that update earlier. And then Ravens at Tennessee Titans, which is not actually at Tennessee. It is in London, not Munich, as my dumbass originally thought. Neumy is safe with the titling of this. We got 10.5 point favorites. I made myself a little spreadsheet here. These lines opened the Denver one and the KC one. The implied totals have come down, but the spread has gotten larger in terms of KC. I attribute the spread getting larger to the Kelsey and the totals getting lower because of the weather right now.
Yeah, I think the weather definitely has a lot to do with it. But also, I think people are kind of just coming around to the fact that this looks like the ultimate matchup for the Chiefs just to absolutely smash too. Is kind of what I'm thinking about it. Is people are really buying into the Chiefs defense being like for real and one of the best in the league. Everyone knows the Broncos defense is absolutely garbage. So this looks like a nice spot for pass catchers of Mahomes to like finally have a good day. You know, somebody other than Kelsey get home, have a nice fantasy day. I was liking this spread quite a bit, and I didn't realize until like yesterday that it got into the double digits. Maybe it kind of opened there, and I was just like, I might have been asleep at the wheel, but I still
It
think the
opened at
Chiefs cover.
7. It opened at 7, so you're not asleep at the wheel.
Okay,
It
I
moved
thought
to
so.
10.5. Yeah.
Okay, 10.5. 10.5 is pretty rich, but like I can still see it. But on the flip side, man, something about this divisional matchup with the Broncos here. Maybe it's because they've done it in the like in recent-ish memory where they've upset the Chiefs. Kind of feel like, I don't know, if you're in a legal betting state, maybe just like $1 on Broncos money line. I'm kind of smelling a cheeky upset here. I don't know.
Wow, that's spicy. That is spicy.
I feel like that's a play. Like it's either
Okay.
Chiefs spread or Broncos money line if you're in one of those states.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure I'm gonna lock hands with you on that one, but yeah. One note on the weather stuff is it's primarily wind. It's surrounding thunder. I'm not a meteorologist, but surrounding thunder showers in the area. Chances of light rain. There is potential sustained winds and gusts up to 30. We've talked so much about if it's sustained over 20 and it's cross blowing, that is bad for the passing game. It looks like tailwind or face wind because of the way that Arrowhead is shaped. So that's all I know about the weather. I'm just going to say that. Wind scares me for passing, but in most cases, this shit is very overblown. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's always the TLDR with weather.
Yeah. I'm coining this slate, Nez, the opportunity versus talent slate. All right.
I love it. Dude. Tell me more.
By that, I mean, we saw Rishi Rice take a step back in terms of opportunity, but he's earning at an elite target per route run rate right now, right? Like he is Spider-Man meme Kadarius Toney last year, where we're like, holy shit, this guy should be getting more work kind of thing, right? We feel the same way about Marvin Mims, right?
Mm-hmm.
We feel the same way about some of the pass catchers on the Ravens who have disappointed, like Bateman, like stuff like that. But it's this juxtaposition of, are they going to go with Johnson or Mims on the Broncos side? Are they going to go with Nelson Aguilar or Bateman on the Ravens side? These are the decisions in which we got to make. And it's just opportunity versus talent all over the place. And I think it makes for a really fun scroll the F down and make some concentrated bets in some isolated spots to get ahead of the market. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's extremely fair, and definitely the decision points I felt like I was making every time I entered one of these drafts. It didn't feel awful to make my last round selection. I mean, it never feels good to make your last round selection in these 2-game primetime slates, but it didn't feel that bad. I mean, you know, if you depending on when you were drafting, you could get Dulcich late. I still like taking Mims in this matchup late. Obviously, like last round, if I end up with like a Russ team. But no, I think that you really nailed it. What one of the most interesting things about this slate to me, and Jacob Sanderson pointed this out. Shout out Jacob. Shout out to Thinking About Thinking. If you're not familiar, check out his little check out his newsletter. Great Canadian boy. Anyways, he pointed out, that so with the Titans, everyone knows Treylon Burks is not playing. He's not he's not traveling because this game is overseas.
Can I pause you right there just to hit something, because that relates to the very first point in chat today from CJ. Yes, you will get a swap for this. We did do a swap episode in the archives there. It was 2 Wednesdays ago, correct?
I think we're pretty sure it was 2 Wednesdays ago.
2 Wednesdays ago on the Underdog Daily channel. The title has since been changed, but we opened the show with it talking about swaps with Neumy. If you want to know like the intricacies of it, But the short answer is yes, set your personal ranks or go off ADP, and that Q tag that is now turned to an O will be swapped. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well
Yes, go
said.
ahead.
So basically, with the injury report is the Titans are missing their nose tackle, and so that is like obviously like a nose tackle is a very huge part of a defensive line. Defensive line is basically what is been stopping the run against opposing teams, unless it's Zach Moss running against you. So some good news for Justice Hill and Gus Edwards there. Not like oh yeah, they're absolute smashes now, but it definitely makes things a little better for them offensively. But
Good shout.
yeah, just something to note there. But yeah, this is a pretty fun little slate. I will say, I always these primetime slates always get me, man. I tell myself I'm going to save my bankroll for other contests, and then I do like 5 of these, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to do just 5 more. Then I
Yeah.
got to do 5 more. Like oh, I need this combo, I need that. So
This
they're fun.
This is such a fun one because the elongation of the player pool feels real. Like it does feel that you could really get like exploitative in the 6th round with Bateman or Aguilar or Mims or something like this, and you could really like win a solid portion of money without even shipping the contest just by making that one correct pick. I think that's what really intrigues me about this slate. Let's get into some of those because I think there's a couple keys to the slate. Let me lay out. I wrote a couple down here. I'm not sure that Mahomes Kelsey will exist on this. I
I
have
don't
yet
think
to
it will.
see one. The way ADP falls, even if the first 3 quarterbacks run off the board and the next player takes the 2 running backs, someone of the next 2 players before getting back to Mahomes always takes Kelsey. So I don't think it's going to exist either, Nez, but it's just something that lives rent free in the back of my head with these super team slates. So I'm thinking through paths to make a super team. I think 3rd round Andrews, just because of where his projection is. I think if you get a Lamar Andrews stack in the 3rd round, that is a very, very strong team. Or if you get a Kelsey plus running back or Kelsey plus Hopkins at the 104 position, and you end up with 4th round Russ instead of 4th round Tanny, I think that creates kind of super team ish dynamic. I think those are kind of like the 2 that have come to my mind right now. Anything for you that you've been thinking through in that regard?
I do agree that I don't think we see a Mahomes Kelsey, and if you are a lucky enough person to get Mahomes Kelsey, it's gonna and it's not a collusion thing. It's just a rarity thing where the rarity alarms are gonna go off. That is like one of the things that they check for, and it's probably gonna get cut. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter. It just does not happen enough. So I wouldn't anticipate seeing it in this contest, which is like really interesting to me when you think about this. It's like who wins that battle? Do the Kelsey teams win, or do the Mahomes teams win? And how and what does that look like if they do? Just because like the fact that they're not paired, it's like, well, how are you going to get it done then without it? Like if it is a Kelsey game and you have Mahomes, like I think you're pretty much like done, right? I think if it's like a 20 something point Kelsey slate,
Yeah.
like it like you don't want Mahomes. You would want
There's no coming back from that. Even if you get like 8 points from Tanny, you're going to need the scoring from something else, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which then it's like, okay, then if it is Mahomes and it's not Kelsey with Mahomes, then it's like, who is it really going to be with? Like who's, I mean, with the Broncos defense, I guess it could be anybody, but like, I think Sky Moore is like, that's done.
Yeah.
But dude, I think what it comes down to, it might be your boy, Justin Watson. Like he's the most consistent receiver on the Chiefs.
He is the Zay Jones and the Joshua Palmer of the Chiefs right now. He is just out there running and actually catches the ball once in a while, comparative to like the MVS and that sort of thing. Blake brings up a good one in the chat there. Mahomes Andrews could match it. I don't think I really have any Mahomes Andrews just because of the way the board falls when I take Mahomes. I think the only way you can get Mahomes Andrews is if the Lamar guy passes on it or if Lamar goes 1-0-1. So if someone takes Lamar 1-0-1, and then Mahomes goes second, then the position players run off, and Russ Wilson goes, then you could potentially fall into the Andrews Mahomes. I don't currently have one in my bag, I don't think.
No, I mean it I don't have one either. So it's just pretty interesting when you think about things through that lens. And then from quarterback as well, uh R- someone mentioning Russ being, oh yeah, CJ saying Rush is hard to push. Uh yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't want to be left with Ryan Tannehill. That doesn't feel
Yeah.
good. I don't know how, like, what is the minimum or the maximum difference you can, or the minimum difference you can have in a quarterback scoring between quarterback 1 and quarterback 4 for it to like really not matter. But like, I would give it maybe like 6 points. So that just doesn't feel very likely. So to me,
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want Tannehill like basically at any cost, but uh, definitely some guys of use though on the Tennessee side. Like I like Spears quite a bit this week in this slate.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's go through position by position, and we'll get to Spears with that one. I'm in lockstep with you with the Tanny thing. I try and push Russ, and been caught with my pants down a couple times, trying to get greedy, and then you get hung out with Tanny. One thing I will say about the Tannehill thing is rushing equity of Tannehill to score at the goal line probably higher than every other quarterback on this slate, other than Lamar.
Yeah, I mean it's true that we've seen at least in years past Tannehill having the rushing touchdown equity. Uh,
Mhm.
is it low key? No, yeah, it's, I mean, it's probably Tannehill, but I mean, with Mahomes rushing more, I was going to
Yeah,
mention
that's
like he
true.
might has a chance, but is he going to really rush more against the Broncos? It doesn't seem like that's going to be something that he needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got to the running back stuff yet, but the Broncos do give up the most rushing yards per game in the NFL on the ground. So maybe that does apply to the quarterback position a little bit here. We will see. And one kind of like bull case for Tanny, although this spread has, or this total has come down or whatever, the implied team total for the Tennessee Titans is higher than the Broncos. Now, not all of that funnels through quarterback play or even offensive play, but it's just something to be mindful of there where it's like maybe we are overstating the difference in terms of like projection between Russell Wilson and Tanny because we got a 16.1 from ETR there and a 13.1 for Tanny. Is that worth 2 rounds of skill position in these contests? Because to take Russ, there's basically 2 ways the board goes. There's either all 3 quarterbacks go in the first round, or 2 quarterbacks go in the first round, and then you wrap around, and the person who's in the 103 takes Russ before the person can take him at the 10 or at the 104, right? Like that's kind of like the general thesis of these games right now. Is that worth sacrificing, Cortland Sutton versus um, Nick Westbrook-Akina or Nelson Aguilar or Tajay Spears? Like, is that 3 points of projection worth that 3 points, worth that 3 rounds in the flex position?
I mean, no, but
Yeah.
you have to play for it though, because I mean, there's
Mm,
just like what's Tannehill really going to give us on this slate? Like, really,
right.
you know,
No, no,
like
it's fair. Yeah. I mean, they don't
at
throw
all this
much. They
season.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like Russ in a trailing game script is somewhat enticing, you know? Like
No,
he's
I agree.
closer to
Like,
Lamar than he is to Tanny, right?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they're gonna have to throw. Like that's just the facts. And Russ has had good fantasy games, so I'm like I'm not. I don't want to give up too many position players before I end up taking Russ. But hey, man, he's definitely. I would. I mean, I would still much rather have him than Tannehill, obviously. So
Okay. No, that's cool. Yeah, I think this is, your standard ranking of quarterback. I don't think there's much more to say on the position than you already said. Is there some merit to the Kelsey 101 and then Lamar being kind of like your getting over the field on Lamar and kind of like soft fading Mahomes?
I think so,
Okay.
personally.
Yeah.
I would very much be into that. That's just the more likely scenario, in my opinion, is that Lamar outscores Mahomes. I think that happens if you play the slate out 100 times. I think that Lamar probably does outscore Mahomes more and probably has the highest game out of those simulations as well, ceiling wise. So for me, it's definitely like Kelsey Lamar, to be honest.
Okay.
And as far as my 1-2.
Okay, cool. Hypothetical scenario. Would you rather have, I'm not sure Lamar Kelsey would be possible. I'm trying to think through combinations at the front of the board that it could happen. It doesn't seem conceivable to me, but it could be something of the effect where someone jumps the shark on like Andrews or something, and then all of a sudden the 104 double clicks the two running backs and someone falls into like a Kelsey Lamar or something. It might be a cancelable offense. But if Lamar Kelsey exists and Mahomes Andrews exists, which side of that 2v2 would you want to be on?
Lamar Mahomes, I think, right? That was, is that we were like,
yeah, sorry. Mahomes and Andrews. It's just crisscrossing the tight end and the
right.
Mahomes Andrews because we know it exists. Lamar Kelsey.
Lamar Kelsey for me, for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. All right, cool. Running back position, very interesting here. If you nail the Baltimore backfield, if you nail the Denver backfield, I think you're at a distinct advantage here. But there is ambiguity in all of these backfields. We saw the Pacheco kind of like break out, take the lead in the last 2 weeks there. McKinnon's role has been greatly reduced to just basically long down and distance pass catching stuff. You actually really need a very distinct game script for McKinnon to be involved. It needs to be a tight game where they're trailing and or they're forced to the air a ton. I mean, their pass rate over expectation is quite high. They're in the top 5 or 6 in the NFL as is. But just thinking through like range of outcomes, that a back other than Pacheco is the most desirable one on this slate. I don't see a way that the KC guys kind of like disrupt that. I could see a cleaner way that Tajay Spears disrupts the Henry usage, or that Javonte falls short because of the guys behind him, or that Gus and Hill are kind of like a flipping of the coin.
Yeah, these back, like I like this slate as far as running backs go, because I like playing this ambiguousness that we have here this week. And for me, like I mentioned earlier, like I really like Tajay Spears. I mean, I know he got in the end zone last week, so that makes his fantasy box score look a little better, but I love having him as like my flex in this contest for this week. Justice Hill, right now he's below Gus Bus in these projections, this like projection ADP that we have to work with. Give me Justice Hill, in my opinion, over Gus Bus. But yeah, I mean, the snaps have been there. I mean, the rush attempts are not necessarily, but I mean, the targets are there. Nice little target per route run there. All the long down and distance stuff, they clearly like him. So it's just a matter of the game script working out in his favor. And
I think he pairs really well, Nez, with like a early start of Lamar Andrews or Lamar Flowers.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he pairs perfectly as a 6th rounder there.
And low key, like with their running backs too, right? I mean, if it's the idea that the Ravens are winning and, in their positive game script, they get the running backs more involved, I think that you could tell yourself that that's good for Tajay Spears as well.
I like it. Yeah, I like where you're at there. Let me jump back to Platform of the People here. Denver backfield. We saw Jaleel McLaughlin do enough, in my opinion, to warrant some more consideration in this backfield. Javonte was really close to playing last week, though. Like he was legit close, like tested out in pregame narrative to playing. It's not a front that you necessarily want to run against, but if one of them's going to get the first goal line opportunity today, who would you favor?
I mean, Javonte, you would think, but it's been Jaleel in the past.
Yeah.
Like Jaleel was vulturing Javonte before like from the jump. So I don't know, man. They Sean Payton's weird. Sean Payton's weird, but Javonte gets some passing work, so I think that bodes well for him in this game against the Chiefs. I think that's something that we can definitively say.
Yeah, are any concern that Samaje just they just keep using him in that role, and just like now all of a sudden we're splitting early down work between Javonte and Jaleel, and Samaje P. Ryan is still just the 2 minute guy and the pass catch guy, or do you think he becomes like odd man out in this scenario?
No, I think it's a really gross three-headed monster that of like an inefficient offense. So it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't feel like anything that you want. Like Joey in the chat mentioning Pete and those guys for the shipcast. That it sounds like they took lower on Javante's rushing yards.
Okay.
I've seen other people take lowers on Javante's rushing yards, and that was at like 35 and a half. So like
That's low.
and they were hitting lowers. So
Whom would you prefer then? Like just in a vacuum, if we're doing this, the Ravens running backs, Spear, or any of these Denver guys?
the way that you listed them, for sure.
Hmm,
I don't want really anything to do with Denver running backs right now.
interesting. Okay, cool.
Like I don't know how
No, I
to
like
talk.
that.
Like I don't know in which, like what I don't know what really needs to happen for Denver running backs to get there, other than maybe like Javonte Williams. I think has the best opportunity to do so,
Mhm.
just because of his passing down work and that like maybe he takes one to the house there, but
Okay.
on the ground I don't see it.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, like what we've seen thus far this year, like I know we like Javante as a pass catcher in the past and part of his profile, and I know that he gets targeted, like just in a vacuum. Like you could see this targets per route run at 60% here in a week in which they were like designing stuff for him, getting a little more healthy in week 4. But like if we look at these long down and distance and 2 minute snaps, even since week 1, it's been Samaje. So I mean, like if we're painting a blowout from like the Chiefs side and we're building like 3 Chiefs guys, I kind of want to go the P Ryan way
Yeah,
comparative to the Javante way on the run back.
I think that's fair. I mean, it's just pretty gross, but I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty fair decision.
Any interest in McKinnon? Maybe some design red zone stuff. CEH as a run the clock out when they're down guy, or do you think there's anything like Keaton Mitchell gets worked in now that they reverted Kenyon Drake back to the practice squad? Kenyon Drake was active last week. He did not touch the ball, and then he went back to the practice squad. Keaton Mitchell was, for whatever reason, I don't know who the hell was touting him. He was like the highest owned guy on Yahoo like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, how the fuck is this happening? But yeah, I don't know. Is there any interest in the scroll the F down here?
I don't know why I like McKinnon in like softer matchups. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like against bad teams, that's it to me. Like I don't have any information on this,
That's
right?
yeah, that's a
This is
bro
just
science take. That's a
straight up
bro
bro.
science take.
That in soft matchups, like these bad teams have to like focus attention on one player, and it just like leaves like McKinnon and these other guys like wide open. So I called it. I had it against the Bears. I liked him against the Bears, and he. I mean, he just ran super pure. Like the usage was like nothing special. He just happened to find the end zone twice. But we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that same hit tonight against the Broncos. I think
Okay.
McKinnon finds himself in the end zone and becomes flexible.
Cool. Do you now then taper your lineups towards Mahomes plus McKinnon lineups there? Because if the way in which he's scoring,
Right.
I mean, what is it 60-40 that he scores through the air?
Yeah, like if he's scoring, it's almost certainly going to be through the air. I mean, dude, the usage
So
is
it's just
not
a
good.
cheeky late stack.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a way to get Mahomes to get a Mahomes stack in without having to click on Sky Moore. But Rasheed Rice, I think, is totally in there, and same with Watson. Like as far as drafting the Mahomes receivers, it's Rice, Watson, and sorry, we're not even there yet for me,
No, no, yeah, yeah, but you
uh, but I don't know, man. I think McKinnon just has that the ability to find the end zone against a really really bad Denver defense here. And
Okay.
obviously, I mean, Pacheco's going so early, but like I'm like the poster boy for not liking Isaiah Pacheco. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to have any of them.
Interesting. Okay. I've been clicking his name a decent amount.
I mean, of course you should. I mean,
Yeah.
he make like if his name it was just the guy that runs the most that has the most carries for the team facing the Broncos. Like you want that guy. That guy is Isaiah Pacheco. I've got a little bias in my heart, so
All right, I respect it. Wide receiver. It feels kind of like DeAndre Hopkins is in like a opportunity share of his own right on this slate, where it's just like now, especially with Burks being out, like just 10 targets every single week, tunnel vision there. The matchup is not as great as it once was, obviously, with Marlon Humphreys coming back, but he got absolutely cooked on a deep ball last week. It just interesting that I think there's a tier gap at the one, and then there's this next tier that is these two, and then we go from there. That's kind of how I'm reading it right now. How do you feel at the top end of wide receiver?
ooh, it's not good. Right? It's really not good, but I think Hopkins has to be the wide receiver one though, just like even though it's not like the prettiest thing in the world, just based on everything that you said, like I'm in total lockstep with. After that, for me though, it is Zay Flowers. As far as the pickums go, like you're going to see him have the most receiving yards in a pickums play this in this slate here. And then like Judy and Sutton to me are just like the same. I mean, as
That's
far
fair.
as outcomes, so really just kind of like
Utilization, the utilization report will agree with you there, Nez.
okay.
Like just in terms of like what we're seeing in terms of route participation, targets per route run, like their A dots are both pretty high too. Like Cortland Sutton has just happened to find the end zone more than Judy, and Judy seems to be like the quote unquote more explosive of the two.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll bring up with the Broncos guys and why I'm Judy over Sutton is I'm not a huge corner versus wide receiver guy, but Ladarius Sneed matters. He is in that same conversation as the way that we talk about, I don't know, Patrick Surtain when we talk about him playing against Devontae Adams, or he's in the conversation when we talk about, Sauce Gardner, like that kind of thing. He's playing very well this year. He has shut down some elite wide receivers to start the year. I think it's more of Cortland Sutton who sees him just based on where they both line up. That's just what I'm reading, seeing, understanding, and it's why I have a little bit of Judy over Sutton. It's also that I just think Judy's more talented and like more explosive as well. But like, yeah, this is kind of like back to that original thesis of the slate: opportunity versus talent. They both have the same opportunity. I'm making the bet on Jerry Judy's being a little bit more talented.
I would agree with that. I think most people would too. I think Judy has the higher ceiling. We just haven't seen it yet. So I prefer Judy over Sutton, but it's like by like a razor thin margin. But once you get rid of those Denver receivers though, because I mean, and obviously the Flowers and Hopkins after that, then it gets really messy. You mentioned, you mentioned Aguilar, like Aguilar or Bateman there. Man, if I had to choose, I'm taking Aguilar. Like I agree with these projections. I need to see it from Bateman. I mean, just really having a rough go of an NFL career to start. For a myriad of reasons, but until I see him have like a nice, great game again, I mean, it's kind of hard to not want to do Aguilar and obviously OBJ over him. Tony, I don't know, dude. I don't. Are you telling yourself that it's possible?
I'm telling myself it's possible. I mean, he's still an elite earner in the targets per route round department. He's poor man's Rashi Rice. ETR's projections have them like fractions of points apart, and their ceilings very comparable. I think if the team is smart, which I'm not sure why last week they downscaled Rice's usage comparative to just aping in on what they've seen. Like he scored the touchdown last week, but his usage actually trended in the wrong direction. I think if this is as smart as an organization as we give it credit, there has to be a tipping point here where they just decide that like Rashi Rice just stays out there. Like this is what we need to do. And Kadarius Toney is the full gadget guy, opposed to the two of them chopping these kind of like gadgety snaps and looks, right?
I know it is really weird. Like Rice kind of looking a little bit like Marvin Mimsy, but
Mm,
I still want Rice over Tony, and it's like
okay.
for me not particularly close.
Okay.
Tony still doesn't do like anything real. He just gets the ball and tries to break as many tackles as he can.
Yeah.
6 targets in his last game, which is like awesome, right? That's great for Tony, with 2 air yards behind all 6 of
Yeah.
those. I mean,
Okay. Good shout.
it's just not pretty.
Yeah. While you bring out the air yards, on the other side of the equation is like MVS is just leading the world in wind sprints. And I mean, he has the ability to come down with one 60-yard bomb that breaks this slate. I believe he has 1 touchdown on the year, and he did that in week 2 or 3. That was like the one, or maybe it was called back, actually. I don't
It
remember.
might have been. I think it was
I think,
actually, but we kind of, or at least Neumy last season was always always championing the MVS play every
yeah.
single week. These are the slates where you can do the MVS thing, because in BRs in the main slate, like that one catch for a touchdown for MVS is not going to get it done for you, but in these slates it absolutely can. The only pushback is like Justin Watson is MVS upgraded,
Yeah. Right.
so why, like not even hyperbole. And I know most people watching the show are informed and keeping up with this stuff, but like, dude, the Justin Watson role is real.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
I
look
mean,
at this A dot. You want the guy that can break the slate, who's out there about the same amount, but is actually catching some of them. Justin Watson's that guy.
exactly. So I much prefer Justin Watson. And the nice thing about this slate is that there's not, and I mean, why the hell would there be? But like, there's not a lot of Justin Watson steam, man. Like he is like my favorite pick in this contest right now.
Nice. Okay.
Because of the fact that he's just so nice and buried, and he feels like a meme because he is a meme, but he's actually real.
Picture this, baby. Picture this. First play. CEH is in the backfield. Nobody knows why. They can't believe it. Why is CEH? Everyone's banging around on the tweet machine. Did Pacheco get hurt in warmups? Why is CEH out there? Play action. Double move on the outside boundary. Boom, foot in the ground. 40 yards from Mahomes. Boom, knocked out of bounds. Justin Watson.
No, I need him in the
63
house.
yards. No,
That
he's
might have
not
been
taking
your
that one in the
most.
house.
That might have been your most realistic picture of this ever, with
With
CEH
him-
taking the first snap and everyone like, Pacheco, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Baltimore wide receivers here. I've been taking Nelson Aguilar above this. Odell Beckham has been limited in practice today. Actually, I haven't been taking him above these two. I will amend that. Odell Beckham was in practice today. He came back out last week. He got injured, whatever, 10 snaps into the ball game, something like that. Man, the OBJ dream, just one of these weeks he's just going to hit, and he's going to come out there and they're going to funnel like the first drive is going to have like 4 design looks his way. And maybe it comes after a game in which all the wide receivers dropped a whole bunch of balls. Like we joked about the fact that like the Ravens should have been up 21-0 in that football game, and instead they lose 10-7 against the Steelers because of wide receiver drops, basically, right? A little bit of ineptitude with some Lamar fumbles and that sort of thing later in the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
But they literally should have been up 21-0 if you just get those balls caught. Is there some squeaky wheel narrative where the wide receivers have been so effing bad and they just go, okay, Odell, show these guys, you run an island game in London, show these boys how to play a little ball. Here's 3 design looks on the very first drive. It's within range outcome. It's not something I'm betting on.
I like your call of taking Aguilar over Beckham. I think that's pretty smart. I mean, I don't.
I think he might just be better now, Nez. I think he might just be better.
I mean, he is. Like Aguilar just really gets no respect. Like, I mean, not that he like needs a ton of respect, but like he's definitely one of the big, he's like the wide receiver 2 right now in the Ravens, like
Mhm.
based on skill and everything else that you want to look at. So no, I think that is like another like really, really sharp call out there. That's what makes this slate fun, man, is that we have a lot of ambiguous situations going on. This isn't just like, you know, the Raiders on this slate where you know
Right.
exactly, like it's like what, like when you take Hunter Renfro, it's like you're throwing it in the that's a quarter in the wishing well. Like this, you can actually like, hey, like this there's a much better chance of these scroll down guys hitting for you. And
Mhm.
they're better plays. They're not like, it's cute because of the projections on the site, but they're just straight up better plays to me.
Okay. Yeah, I like where you're at there. There are, I'll call it 4, maybe that's generous. There are 4 break the slate wide receivers here that where it's just like they could go house call for huge yardage and it's over. You needed to have them, right? Like they can just do like 70 and 1 on one play. It is not um the highest range outcome, obviously, but it's like within range outcomes. And I
Sure.
think you got to put Justin Watson, MVS in there. I would put Devin Duvernay in there, who ran 70% of routes in week 4 and then saw his role completely slashed when they had like everybody back last game. But he has that burner, punt returner, blah, blah, blah speed. Marvin Mims is in that category, obviously. And then I guess you can kind of go a little bit further. Like, maybe I was being too limited with this. Chris Moore to a less extent for Tennessee now that I don't know. It's going to be Westbrook Akina. We know what he is. Chris Moore and Kyle Phillips. Like someone's going to factor in. I'd like Moore the most out of that group. I think
More than
Westbrook
Westbrook.
Akina's. He's the safest for sure. But if I'm
Yeah.
looking for like the lower owned leverage who has like a little bit of slate breaking potential, I don't know. But out of this grouping here, Nez, you already alluded to the Watson one. Is it Mims next for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely Mims. I mean, yeah, the you would like him to have more involvement this season, but the fact that we've seen it in unlimited usage in the past, I mean, like we're playing a 2-game slate. Like Mims is a great pick in these contests.
I'll say that last week there might be a little bit of doghouse here. He fumbled twice last week. He fumbled once on the punt return or kickoff. It was punt return, I think. Fumbled once on the punt return, and then he fumbled once on like some weird little end around kind of thing or something behind the line of scrimmage. Might have been a screen. It was something behind the line of scrimmage. Anyways, he fumbled twice last week, just to have it mentioned, but only one was on an offensive play. So maybe a little, I don't know. Denver might be showcasing too. There was Judy to Carolina Panthers rumors and stuff. I mean, they might just showcase Sutton and Judy and be like, go out there, score 2 touchdowns. Let's lose by 17 and just prove that you guys are worth something to trade. And then we'll just go little Jordan Humphreys season to appease Sean Payton the rest of the way.
There's something
Uh,
to it, man. I don't know. I feel like we are going to see some trades before. I don't know when the deadline is, but I do.
Halloween, October 31st, I think.
Oh wow. Okay, so coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are going to see some trades.
Let's do tight end and then hop in some drafts here because Windbag John Boy's been talking way too long here, hasn't I?
Oh, we've been doing good.
There's Kelsey. I mean, Kelsey's gonna play. I don't know how limited he's gonna be. He came back after the injury after halftime. Blah blah blah. Everybody knows this. Kelsey, as Nez and I alluded to, I think he's our 101 over Mahomes right now, or just because of what he could do to break a slate versus what Mahomes could do to break a slate. Mahomes to break this slate literally has to score 4 touchdowns and not to Kelsey, and 2 of them have to go to another wide receiver, and you have to have a skinny stack of like Watson and Mahomes, like that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's like what you're hoping for. But no, Kelsey is for certain my 101 on
Okay.
here, like without a doubt, without a doubt. But it is interesting that like you know the last year maybe at this time or at any point last year, like we may be like saying like, oh, you can mix it up and take Andrews over Kelsey, you know. But for me right now, it's definitely Kelsey 101. But hey, man,
As-
not far behind him is Mark Andrews.
Yeah, fair enough. I would say Mark Andrews should never leave the second round. Like he should always be selected in the second round in these contests, no matter what. If he falls to the third, I think you have a very good chance of winning the slate with
Yeah.
that team. Um, I will say one more thing on Kelsey that excites me is if these weather concerns are real and the wind is real, what do you have to do? You get the ball out short, out of your hand quickly. Who's the number one Mahomes trusted safety valve that is 4.5 yards downfield? It's going to be him, right?
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. Kelsey does a lot of everything. Uh, there's really it's a I can't think of a scenario where I'm fading Kelsey. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is clear. Now what happens with this next little grouping? I think you can go the Kelsey's hampered or they're up by a million and it didn't funnel through Kelsey, and you go a little bit of leverage with Noah Gray or Blake Bell as purely touchdown scorers. Maybe they fall in, just talking range of outcomes. I think Chig has the best opportunity out of this, but I will highlight a tweet in which I retweeted a little bit earlier there from our friend Greg at Coach Speak Index that after last game, they were talking about Chig and just how he missed a seam route and these red flags that keep popping up with the same concerns that they had with him not being a real tight end. He has to play because Treylon's not playing. That's the difference, I think. If Treylon was playing, I think we could have definitely seen him phased out a little bit more here. But just saying that. And then Dulcich coming back off of IR, him versus Troutman debate. Okay, thoughts on this next tier, Nez, now that I kind of
yeah, let's do this. So the Okonkwo thing, he's gonna score a touchdown one of these days. We were hoping that he would have more than does he? I don't even know. Does he even have any this season? I don't think so,
I
right?
don't think so, no. He had 9 targets last game though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely like. I mean, yeah, you don't feel great not having Mahomes or Kelsey or Andrews on this slate, but Chig's, yeah, it's Chig, but Dolchich,
I'm
I think
warming
is,
up
yeah,
a little bit after the Treylon news.
for sure, right? I mean, that's only good news for him. So, I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world, I guess, right? If you're left with him, like you don't have to, like I wouldn't feel like okay, like I don't have a shot. It's possible there, and same with Dolchich too. Dolchich kind of falls in that same category where I think both of these teams obviously are going to be, or at least from the Broncos standpoint, obviously going to be working from behind. A lot of pass attempts. I mean, Dolchich did not have like I don't know that he played the whole game in week one. He might have. But still 17% targets per route run on 32% of routes. Not bad. I mean, that's Greg.
Mhm.
That's what Greg Dulcich does. I mean, he's a pass catcher. He's not Adam Troutman. He's Greg Dulcich, so he's going to catch passes. So excited to see him get back.
Yeah, I think I think the narrative is if you play Jolchich, that they saw a little bit of chemistry with Russ at the end of last year with him. The ADOT's going to be a little bit harder. He's going to be utilized like a third wide receiver. He's not going to be utilized as a blocker. Him and Chig are kind of similar in that regard. It's going to be a little bit deeper downfield, and it's going to be a little bit more design stuff for him. I think Troutman is still going to play over him tonight. That is like my kind of like stance in terms of like utilization and stuff. Now, Troutman can't necessarily do anything with those snaps. Dolchich could. You know what I mean? Even if he only plays half as many as him, right? So I'm going to have a little bit of both, but I think prioritizing Chig over those two makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I'm not gonna Adam. I mean, Troutman certainly can get there, but I'm not gonna get that cute on this slate
Okay.
to be getting to him. But you mentioned like Noah Gray and Blake Bell.
Mm-hmm.
I let's do a little what if, like if the Chiefs defense, which we find to be pretty damn good, you know,
Yep.
gets to Russ. I mean, Russ, we know Russ takes a lot of sacks. Russ will throw some deep balls. You know, if we get multiple defensive scores from the Chiefs, things could get really, really ugly in this game. I mean, you add the defensive scores plus, just banking on Denver not scoring a lot, period. We could end up getting some garbage time from here. And it could be, Kelsey fails. And then obviously in that point, you would want Andrews and the Titans that we mentioned in that order. But I think there is I think there's way more of a bigger chance that this is a blowout on the Chiefs side, and it's because of some of those like defensive scores that may take place. And it's like, what happens to the offense for the Chiefs if that takes place, where it's just like the defense has done all the work for them? How does that look?
Right. I think that results in who are the first two guys you take off the field in those scenarios. Well, it's the star tight end who might still be hampered by an injury right now, and it's the starting running back, and you maybe get CEH some touches. So if you want to play blowout narrative without, and then I mean, I guess it's Mahomes after that, right? But if you want to play blowout narrative, or point chasing narrative, it kind of makes a lot of sense to do like a Russ double or like a Russ, something like that, and then bring it back with like Noah Gray and CEH and just play this game environment from trailing Broncos script.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think you can, I guess like my galaxy brain way of thinking about it is like, if these defensive touchdowns come at the expense of Russ turnovers, then you just need maybe like a couple Broncos in catch up mode all the time without Russ. And then you play like Andrews, or Lamar, as your QB there, and he's the highest scoring QB. I don't know, just something to think about, just because I like to think about the defensive scorings, and because it's not something that we ever think about on Underdog because we don't play defense on here, but it affects these contests, especially these small slates. So just like playing for that scenario, drafting for that scenario, maybe not in every draft, but in some of your drafts, I think can make sense. You really got to think through like what happens if special teams or defense like scores points and makes a big difference.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like where your mind's at with that. That does make a lot of sense to me too. And I mean, you want to talk about range outcomes, like this Broncos team has looked so bad, man. Like Russ has put up numbers majority of weeks now in terms of scoring, and he's thrown for over 300 yards, I think twice now. But yeah, I mean, he is susceptible to do exactly what he did at the end of last game, where it's the last drive and he just fumbles one,
Yeah, dude, it's just, I don't care what the fantasy numbers say. Like, I mean, and it's not like there's a lot of people out here championing and agreeing that, or thinking that the Broncos are anything special, but like, goddamn. Goddamn, they suck.
Should we stick to our guns here and say Travis Kelce?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I will say that I think Kelce from the 102 I like more than Kelce from the 101, and it's just because not all three quarterbacks can run off in front of you.
Yeah.
That's just like the one, like, pump the brakes. Woo, we get a Pacheco at 2 from a non-Badger. That is a unique room so far.
Oh, yeah, man. With this projection ADP and people maybe thinking, oh, yeah, Chiefs are going to stomp them, and, they just have that Miami game rent-free in their head.
Yep.
Pacheco, I just have a beef with Pacheco as a fantasy guy. I'm sure he's a great guy, and he does enough for the Chiefs, but I'm just always want to be fading him. I don't know why. It could be bad.
Yeah, it could be bad because they're playing against the worst run defense in football, period. So
yeah, I need to slap the biases out of me.
But I mean, depending how the game script goes, like, I mean, it could definitely be three-headed monster, or it could be, if it's a Mahomes Kelce game, you're not going to need Pacheco. They're up 21-0 late in the ball game. Like, they might not run Pacheco more than 11, 12 times, and CH gets mixed in because they're up, multiple scores, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's kind of part of it too, is that I just think that they just don't really need to make Pacheco to use him that much.
Zay Flowers goes there. We get the Hopkins fall back to us, which is a little rarer than whatever. I would opt for Hopkins for sure, and then I would ask you what you would like to do.
This is tough. I think we skip on QB though, since we have Hopkins, and we just like see if maybe Russ
You can
comes
push
back.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if not, then it's like, okay, we stacked DeAndre Hopkins. I think it's Judy.
I agree. I'm really glad you said that. And we give ourselves 2 outs at a stacking partner if we push QB here. And, this guy, you got to read the room a little bit, right? It's one thing I talked to you about. We've talked, I always do the relatability with the poker stuff. There's a couple things that play when you're single tabling, let's call it, these drafts, right? The timing tells and reading the room, right? And we're reading the room here. This guy doesn't give a shit about projections and ADP. This guy is taking his guys. He went Pacheco at 2. That's abnormal. We got to read into this a little bit that Men K, whatever this is, how would you say his
Mank.
name? Ben K.
Mank. It's just
Mank. That Mank here is he's not afraid to do something a little goofy here. He might pass on quarterback a couple times and we end up with a 5th round Russ here. Or maybe he's got some ideas that, hey, he wants to do a little stack with Tanny and Chig here later. So we're gonna leave the door open, right?
for sure. I'm excited to see what DMC does. He's a really good player.
Yeah, very much.
So we get him. He gets the Lamar Andrews. I didn't even really see that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know how rare it's going to be tonight. I think it'll definitely be under what the field it would possibly be, but I would say 8%, something like that, 7%. I don't think it's going to be like super rare. I've got a couple, but you do have to set it up mindfully, and the way in which to do it is exactly what he did. Pass on Mahomes, take Andrews there.
Okay.
Spears goes, he takes Russ and box us out there. You said shit because I think you wanted Spears there.
I did.
Do we want to make a bet on a Kansas City wide receiver alongside Kelsey? Do we want to play blowout narrative through their running backs? Do we want to make a concerted bet on
What about Tony? Like, fuck it. I don't know, man. 6 targets. Denver sucks. Maybe it's windy.
He breaks one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then now for the running back. Do you have a lean between Hill, Edwards, P. Ryan?
I think it's
Jaleel?
I think it's Justice Hill, but I could go for Jaleel, man. I know you love Jaleel. Jaleel looks good. I think Jaleel has multiple outs.
Let's get funky with it. Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's play this game environment and just be like, from the Tennessee game, all you need is it's an ugly, sloppy London game, and all you need is Hopkins scores twice from Tanny.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. The Jaleel stuff's interesting just because, like I said, I know people are taking lowers on Javonte, and I'm just trying to think, like, I think that there's multiple reasons where a lower can hit. Where one, obviously, like, I mean, they're 10.5-point dogs. That's a bad start. They got McLaughlin and P. Ryan back there. That's also like not great either. And they could get blown out. And Javonte had like a catastrophic knee injury just a year ago, and like, why use him in garbage time? So I think McLaughlin has multiple outs.
Yeah, and we kind of painted that garbage time narrative because we just go, Kelsey's the guy you need. Kadarius gives us the other touchdown and enough, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like, and Mahomes like doesn't like what is, I don't even know Mahomes' projection on Pick'ems right now, but I can't imagine it's more than 250.
That's a good question.
267.
267? Okay.
Tell you what, man, I go lower on that. Like,
interesting. Ooh.
Very, very, very much so into.
Well, that's assumption of rational coaching that they're going to establish it and not just stick with this super pass heavy, set that they've been running so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, GA makes a good point here. We should have been pushing the plane.
Yeah, I know. We were filibustering. We were talking. We wanted to see the end of that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely a pitch the plane spot. You're right, GA. We're gonna hop in another one here.
Yeah, let's go. Keep it rolling. Yeah, let me see if this based on my model, if that 267.5 is worthy of the lower. Let's see how, if that's a good play or not. I'll tell you in a second here.
Oh, here you go. I didn't know CJ played poker for a living. Loves the poker references. There you go. Love this.
It's not that great. It's my take, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah,
All right,
good.
bunch of sharps in here, so let's see what goes down.
Do you want to do the inverse of what we just did, or do you want to build kind of similarly?
We can switch it up for sure. When you say the inverse, in what form?
Oh, I was just saying, just take Mahomes at 1 or something instead, just to see what it looks like, just because we just did this exact same thing. Or do you want to just stick to this and see if we can make it different in a different way?
This is your entry. I would. I mean, like,
You want to stick to our guns. Stick to our. Yeah, just say it, Nez.
Kelsey, dude, take it. I don't want to. I don't want to see that clock anymore, dude. Take it. Next question.
Okay, let's see. So DMC's gonna go Mahomes here after. So this is, hey man, I want to point this out because I hope DMC's watching, and we've never spoken to DMC before. DMC's a good player, and you could see the live reacting to a room comparative to the auto drafting, and why I think certain combos should never be canceled, and blah blah blah. Like I've stood on this podium for a long time, my small little soapbox that we have here, because I think drafting and adaptability to a room and getting in good rooms, I think they are all skills. And just seeing him, where last room, he took Andrews ahead of Mahomes and Lamar because he adapted to the room. He saw a guy go rogue with Pacheco, and then he saw a guy on the corner who's going to take Mahomes. So he adapts to the room, right? Now all of a sudden he sees all these red badges, and what does he do? Well, he just goes, boom, I'm going to take Kelsey there.
He's having such a better back-to-back drafts than us. The 101 is cursed.
We just rolled Hopkins, Henry, and Kelsey.
I take that back.
We just rolled that.
That's dog worthy. But I mean, dude, him getting Mahomes Andrews after he just landed Lamar Andrews is
it's a beautiful one.
Pretty dope.
Yeah,
good for you.
Well, the boys are diversifying at the end there. I mean, we're seeing this Judy Sutton start. Like, that is not something you commonly see. Like, I've got a couple from the 104 with Judy Sutton, but they come at 12-13, not at 4-5. So we'll see what the Gale does here.
Yeah, what if he's gonna? Okay, wow, he doesn't even like.
He didn't need to do that. He could have pushed it.
Yeah, man. Like, look, what are we like? We're not taking Russ. Like you.
Yeah.
Interesting. And he doesn't even take.
Very interesting. I like. Well, I guess this is how you get different in these contests, right?
It's definitely different. Definitely different.
Sacrifice some mean projection to get over the field somehow.
You know what happened? He tuned into the show, heard me call Broncos money line, and just like exited out. He's like, I heard enough. Broncos stacks all day. And now
I think we make a stand here on Justice Hill versus Edwards.
Yeah, for sure.
And we take Justice Hill?
Yeah. I like Justice Hill more.
Okay, let's take Justice Hill here. That might be enough of that game. We're going to end up with Tanny. I think we got to take a Chiefs pass catcher here, or we got to take break the slate Mims.
I was going to suggest Mims.
You want to break the slate with Mims?
Yeah. Let's say.
Who's scrolling down to Mims after they start Derrick Henry, Hopkins, Kelsey?
Nobody.
No fucking buddy.
I kind of like the Mims narrative based on the outcome of multiple defense and or special teams touchdowns from the Chiefs, but Kelsey gets 1 or 2 in the meantime. But no other Chief is scoring because they are just all over Russ Wilson and these Broncos. But before they put the game out of reach, Russ connects to Mims for a long one. He's flex worthy.
Got it. Love it. I love this. I love this narrative so far. So we got the Russ onslaught here. Jaleel to end. Christian Watson on the bring back. I mean, that's going to be pretty unique. That is a bold move, just in general. DMC ending up with another really nice sharp team here. Mahomes double to probably the 2 preferable targets there. Ends up with a 6th round Gus bust. Like, that's pretty solid.
That's so sick. I've done 2 entries. I guess I have a Mahomes Andrew. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Wow. This guy's got 2 bullets. He's got a Mahomes Andrews. I've been scraping all day long, grinding my cock off. Trying again.
Yeah, what do we do here? Oh,
It was Tanny. It was Tanny. We
I
can
know, I
push
was
the plane
kidding.
again. Oh,
When you said grind your cock off, it reminded me of I was watching one of the ETR streams or something, and
yeah.
my wife was in earshot, and Levitan said something about grinding my dick off, and
Yeah, that's what
it
he always
made her laugh out loud. It was great.
he always says the grinding it down to the 1.9
To the
or
nub.
whatever.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
the goat. Are we gonna have time to do any puck skis? I mean, we're getting close to lock. Is the contest gonna fill? Like,
let's run the model. Let's finish this draft. Let's do this last one for football. Let's run the model and call it.
Okay.
All right.
I don't
blind
know.
Blind
you got
and
any
the puck
dangles?
streaks.
Oh no dangles tonight. There's only one.
Is the contest like we're in danger of missing it right now?
It's 80% full.
Oh yeah, no, we're good.
I think it's time to get this to 15K if you're out there and you're listening.
The puck one?
Oh yeah.
I think they're a little apprehensive just about when they have a Thursday night football at the same time, like having overlay in both contests if people don't like the Thursday night slate, whereas people chase overlay in the other one, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's just I mean, puck has grown quite a bit, man. It's really cool to see. I mean, there wasn't a lot of if any, like 10K contests last year for puck. These guys might in the chat may need to remind me on that, but things are trending up there. I'm gonna be playing a lot of puck this year. I'll tell you that.
It's fun, man. It's fun. It's a lot like baseball.
Exactly. I love the similarities with baseball.
Kelsey goes there. This is kind of like your standard room so far.
Where you go like Pacheco and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Do you like that?
Andrews for sure.
Okay. You want Andrews for sure here?
I think so.
I've done the running backs together a couple times. I've done the... Well, if we're going to play this one through Andrews, why don't we play it through Henry and the big dog eats in that game? Those are the 2 pieces you need from that game. And then build out the other game. The rest of the pieces are going to be contrarian pieces through the other game.
Yeah, let's do it. I like that start.
I mean, the one problem with doing this is if you get froze out with Tanny, is it's kind of like you'd want him with Hopkins instead of with Henry.
Yeah. No doubt. That would suck.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
Yeah, this is kind of like the standard start thus far, or you'll see like the 3 quarterbacks run off, and then you're left with the decision. Actually, we haven't talked about it. You think bully tight end's viable tonight? Well, Andrews, Kelsey.
That's fun. I think. I mean, almost certainly, right?
Tanny, though.
Yeah, it sucks to get left with Tanny, but I mean, like, because then it's Tannehill, and you're definitely not getting, or you're most likely not getting Nuke with him. But I mean, I think why not? Right? It's a 2-game slate. Surely,
yeah.
That bully tight end can work.
Okay.
I don't see why not. I haven't done it, and I probably won't get there, but
I did it once so far, I think.
Did you like it?
Can't remember.
Guess that's good.
I guess. I don't know. It means it wasn't a GM, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm looking back at some of these puck contests during the NBA All-Star break. I think it was that would be February, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was around maybe NFL or something. There was a 20K contest. Toe Drag Tuesday. It was 20K.
Nice.
Okay.
Sutton and Rice.
Yeah.
They're the guys you need.
Definitely. Because I mean, Westbrook Akine, I think, is maybe an option, but we don't have to do that just yet, I guess.
No, we don't. We could do it with our last pick and do like Westbrook Akine Tanny stack.
Yeah, or you do like what? Who's doing Spears and Derrick Henry? Like Spears' usage, I think is
Yeah.
good enough to get home with Derrick Henry. Do you agree?
I think they split the pie on the touchdowns too much, and touchdowns matter too much. Like to win this slate, you need all the touchdowns. And the path for them both scoring a touchdown and Tanny having the relevant score. Like I don't mind doing Henry plus Spears on a different team, knowing that we have to take Tanny. I hate it.
That's fair.
You're like threading such a needle where it's like Henry scores twice on the ground, but also passing touchdown to Tajay Spears. Like, it's like
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty gross.
If we had a Russ team and we had like, what Roy's doing here with this like Russ, and then potentially I guess he could do Mims or something. If he had Sutton before that, or if he had Sutton before that or Judy before that, then I think it's viable.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. All right, we got the model is ready. The model is
he's running it.
Ready.
The hamsters.
Oh man, they're working overtime because I'm like, I'm not seeing enough separation on this slate. I'm like, you guys got to figure it out. You got to show me where the separation is, and they can't find it.
Oh, I like that. How many games are on the slate?
6, I believe.
6
and
games.
Everyone is at 7. And all the totals are at 6.5. It's weird, man. They just they keep spitting out Jason Robertson 101.
Ooh, spicy.
Huh?
I think his ADP was like 4.
Yeah. They like him 1.
Oh my.
The hamsters.
The hamster model is buzzing.
These boys are going crazy in the back. I don't know if you can hear
them. Okay, is this going to be a Tanny to Westbrook Akine team? Is it going to be Tanny just gets the raw score to push us over the top and we just take a one-off receiver from the other game environment?
I mean,
or do we need the stack equity?
Oh, god damn, man. It's not thank God Spears isn't there because I'd be saying we got to get Spears, but
CH runs out the clock.
I think it has to be. I know it's boring, but I feel like it has to be Westbrook Akine. But
right.
CH actually,
you could do CH as the
CH can outscore Westbrook Akine, and Westbrook Akine can still have a game, I guess.
Let's do it. Let's do CEH. We get leverage off the Pacheco teams, and Rice and CEH are the touchdown scorers from that game environment. Tannehill puts up 18, but it funnels primarily through Derrick Henry and 1 rushing score for Tanny.
Bucket.
And yeah, I mean, and then this suggests that Cortland Sutton outscores DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's thin as all hell. This is a lesson that kind of like is good for the audience right now. That when you do the Andrews thing here, knowing that you can't get Lamar Mahomes and you got the Derrick Henry here instead of the DeAndre Hopkins or whatever, like you kind of get fucked with the Tanny with a smart player beside you who knows he has to take Russ Wilson at 11.
No, you're absolutely right. This right here almost makes more sense for the Sutton Judy thing than the first time we saw Sutton Judy go back to back.
Good shout. Yeah.
But God damn. Pick 3 is just where it's at in these, maybe.
I fully agree. Pick 3 is where it's at. 104 is okay, but you can never get Russ to come back. So, I mean, I think the most nutted team will be from the 104 where Kelsey falls, but someone takes Tanny instead of Russ, which is possible. Not likely, but if you happen to find yourself in that room, I think that's where the GM combo comes from.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's I mean we got one on stream, man. We got the Kelsey plus Derrick Henry plus Hopkins. That was pretty nice for an on-stream draft. So we got some bullets. We got some live bullets here. I think I got some good carryover drafts. I'm not gonna lie, I got some really nice carryover drafts. We got 27 of them going tonight. We'll get a couple more in there. I think I got 50 something from live, right? Oh, I got 36 going from the
Okay.
other contest. I got some nice bullets. I'm
Do
not gonna
you?
lie,
Good.
guys. Oh, I
Nice.
got a couple in my chamber. Don't you worry, guys.
I'm
If
dead.
you see Rotorun at the top of that leaderboard tonight, do not be surprised. Nez, let's dust off the model and get us right to the top of this top shelf Thursday. Hashtag puck guys are coming. Snipe, Sully, Dangles, Backhand, Ched, Sauce, Daddy. What do you got for me, Nez?
So, Blake's saying that he's saying a bunch of no badge fish taking Robertson 101. That's just what the model says. But no, we like you. To be honest, and this is like actually like kind of fun. I mean, I like the line combo of Krill and Boldy from the Wild. That's always fun. Husey and who's the defenseman there? God, I can't see it, so I'm drawing a huge blank.
Dougie.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
D Hammies. D
Yeah,
Hammies.
yeah. Dude, look how far down Dougie Ham is. Kind of interesting,
man.
ain't it? He's
Yeah.
little disrespectful there.
How about a little Larkin run back?
Oh,
Push the game environment.
I don't know who that is.
Dylan Larks. PP1.
From of course from the wings, of course.
The wings.
Yeah, Larkin's the only one we like there. No, so it's kind of interesting. None of these games like are really standing out massively. The Devils, I think, are the they're the biggest favorites on the slate.
Okay. So who we taking with this 101? Are we sticking to the model? You were right on the model for Faden McDust last night.
Yeah, man. Dallas is buzzing right now. They just opened. I don't know if you heard that Post Malone Raising Cane's in Dallas. Dallas is buzzing, dude.
The boys are going for a post-game meal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Posty with Post.
Posty with the post game? Oh my god, it's a layup, dude. How did we not see this from the start?
Dude, I did. That's why I'm telling you guys. And it's great because you can pair the power play partners with Robertson are also pretty easily gettable as well. We like Rupee quite a bit.
Big Rubes, yeah, Rubes is a nice one.
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
piece. Nice bits.
So yeah, we're all in on the ability to build. Oh, Rupee's out.
Oh,
what?
Yo, breaking news! Breaking news.
Is that has he been out? Son of a bitch.
I think it's their home opener, right?
God, this model. Yeah, it is. Like everybody's buzzing.
Oh, Rupe's out. Big hints.
He's been
misses
out.
practice.
God damn it.
Misses practice.
All right.
Okay, well, we'll find out who's playing on PP1 with Robbie.
Your boy.
Oh, Nails Benjamin.
Yes. Yeah.
Jamie Nails Benjamin.
James Ben himself. Pavelski's out there. So
wow.
Heiskanen. So there's some guys. He's been out all day. Come on, guys. All right.
There are some dudes.
Blake said breaking. Everyone's saying, as of the ass crack of dawn, it's been breaking news that Rupee's out. All right.
How about Dougie H? How about we play the Contrarian 101? Where everyone's going to...
That's weird. He shouldn't be that low, right?
Everyone and their dog who takes Husey at the 101 is going to pair him with Dougie H. We're going Contrarian Robertson, Dougie H. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, they're not going to like that. No. But we got to do that. All right. After here, I do like Alexander Barkov. I like Marchessault as well. And Toke's pretty cool too. But this is little one-off territory because we can get the power play partners with Robertson down the road.
Okay, I'm making the call on Barksy here tonight. You know why? 2 reasons. 3 reasons. Minnesota, puck town, feeling down about the Twinkies, feeling down about the Vikes. Barksy's comes in there, blows their effing doors off, just puts Minnesota in a body bag for the third straight team. All right, there's that one. You don't think a guy like him gets up? He wears the C. Chedsies, leadership from Barkov. That's what you need on opening night after a tough postseason run last year where they fell short. right? That was the last time they played was when what's that rapper's name? Shit, the guy who's been to jail a couple times. That one, you know?
Kodak?
Kodak, yeah,
Kodak
Kodak.
Black?
The last time Florida was playing hockey, Kodak Black was having sex in the booth up there mid game. So
Oh, shit.
he's got to put some respect back on the Florida Panthers name by going into a hockey town and reminding them what's up. That's the narrative right there. And then double bubble leverage off Gustafsson being the number 1 drafted tendy tonight.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I don't know why he is.
No, that's not your guy.
Goose? He's 10D1? That don't make sense to me.
All right. This is good. That means you got a secret nugget for us for our tendy
Oh,
tonight.
dude, I mean, he's hiding in plain sight. We're good. We're good.
Ooh.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
So
Who are we looking with this next one here? Are we stacking?
oh yeah, we're stacking it up. I will say I'm always a sucker for the Blue Jackets. But we're not gonna go there just yet. I mean, dude, you can go with Tyler Seguin.
Nailed it. Sagan.
Sagan is there. Let's look at this. These Devils here because we do got Dougie. So it's kind of
Let's fade the Devils.
Okay, we one off.
Let's
Dougie.
let's go Florida. Let's go Florida or one off dude you like.
Well, we don't have Kirill, right? No. We don't.
We went with Robertson. I kind of like your Johnny Hockey call. I kind of like your
Blue Jackets are always like a team that I just think plays fast. So,
buddy, they go so fast.
So
Johnny
if we do
Hockey just buzzing out there, little guy.
Boone Jenner's definitely gone, right? He goes pretty.
Dude, nobody's touching Boone Jenner.
36
ADP
flat.
36. Dude, he's center 34. Look at this. Look at this value we're getting on Boone Jens.
You know what's crazy is they're playing the Flyers. You think the Flyers give a shit about hockey tonight? They're sweating those Phillies over against the Braves.
Barn's going to be half empty. Boone Jenner's coming into town. Barn is half empty because they're at the Phils game. Boone Jenner comes in here, lights the lamp, 2 talks guaranteed.
They are in Columbus. However, their minds are elsewhere. They're sweating that
road fans traveling to Columbus.
These Flyers are all sweating their asses off because before they left Pennsylvania, illegal betting state, they all put on parlays on Strider K's and Suarez fantasy points and shit. So they're all nervous about this playoff game. Their head's not even going to be anywhere near Johnny Hockey.
I like this. This is a great narrative. I loved this narrative so much until I just learned that Boone Jenner's a second line center with 2 namers and isn't on the top PP anymore.
What is GA's source? I'm looking at Boone Jenner front and center. Daily Faceoff says Boone Jenner is there with Kirill Marchenko, Liney, Johnny Hockey. I mean, dude, it's the world's our oyster here.
Okay. He's on PP1. Okay, all right. He's on PP1. Here we go.
Evergreen, GA, wrong as hell. All right. Do we need Johnny Robertson?
Boone Jenzy right there.
Do we need Johnny Bob stacked?
No, man, we're at Tendy now. That was all our stacks.
Oh,
we did all our stacking. Now we need your secret Tendy.
Oh, dude, is it even a secret that we go with the Devils goalie tonight?
It's it's not much of a secret because he just went at pick 31.
The fuck, man. Oh shit. Who are we left with? Igor, dude. Igor's so overrated.
I like that take. Well, let's scroll down, man.
What about Elvis? Elvis is in the building, ain't he?
Oh,
he's confirmed.
Dude. And we're already getting 2 tucks from Johnny Puck, and then we're getting 2 tucks from Boonesies, and then all of a sudden, Elvis in the building. Have we got it confirmed that he's starting?
He's confirmed.
Let's go, baby.
We're certainly not playing Carter Hart.
No. I mean, the only other guy would be Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's on the case.
Oh man, this
All
is
right.
a lineup.
Dude, this is a team. This is absolutely some dudes playing puck tonight. This is
Let's go.
for the audio listeners, Nez, can you please read the team?
Yes. All right. Yeah. Since everybody's gonna, we've got at center here Alexander Barkov and Boone Jenner. There, bang bang. Jason Robertson one off against the Blues. Oh, they're gonna have the Blues tonight. And then Johnny Trudeau against the Flyers. Flyers heads are gonna be way elsewhere today. One off defenseman Dougie Ham, and rounding out at Tendy, we got Elvis himself, Merzilskins.
Nailed it. Here we go, baby. All
This
right.
is what you need.
This is what you need. Some top shelf Thursday, baby. Just some good, wholesome top shelf Thursday. This is unstacked, baby. Triple Columbus. Let's go.
I never would have thought that hockey would be our best segment. But lo and behold, here we are.
Oh my god. Fun ending to the show. Puck Guys will be back soon. You know it. Tomorrow with Pete off and on the clock. Holy smokes, it's already Friday. 3 p.m. Eastern on the Underdog Daily channel. They're not playing on Underdog Fantasy, guys. Promo code MLB at sign up. 100% match deposit up to $500 USD. Working on some cool things behind the scenes, some irons in the fire, as they may say. Just interesting, fun stuff that we could potentially be bringing you guys in the future relative to Underdog that is unique to us and this community. But for the time being, best of luck in the puck streets tonight. Best of luck in the Sunday kerfuffle there. Go ahead and just scroll the F down with your last 2 round picks there and get unique. Nez, any parting words, my friend?
I'll see you tomorrow, and good luck in those puck streaks. Just know that we just drafted the winner. So
damn straight, baby. Blue Jackets, and don't forget the Robertson narrative. Robertson post game, post Malone, Carvers.
Canes, baby.
Canes.
Canesies.
Dude, we should have stacked up the Canes. Are they even on the slate? That would have worked on 2 levels. Dallas and Canes. If that's on the slate, that's in play, guys.
Nah, Canes played yesterday.
All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Good luck, everybody. Peace.